Hello, good morning everyone, and I'm Nagesh Deshpande. I'm hosting this session for all the software testers who wants to transform their career from software testing to a Scrum Master role. So here in this session, I'm not going to cover any theory or something. I'll discuss few points which you need to learn. But however, the common problems or common challenges that face and common mistakes that tester makes while moving into this new role. So we are only going to discuss that, and so we will discuss in first 40 30 40 minutes about the 10 points that I want to discuss with you. Later on we can have Q&A. So as already informed, this call will be recorded and will be uploaded onto our Elite Testers YouTube channel. So okay, the channel links I'll share in the WhatsApp group, so you can join, and you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. And all the tips that I'm giving, keep in mind, this will, even if it is small tip, what makes a lot of difference. And I'm coming from that experience. See, I also started my career as a tester. You already know, everyone knows. I worked majority part of my career as a tester, and then I successfully moved into Scrum Master. Okay. So the first thing that I would like to discuss here is now, so what as a tester you should start doing. Okay. So you can make a note. I will share this notepad, what I have written in my notepad with you also, but you can start making notes of it. So learn and understand Scrum framework and agile values. So there is enough material available on the internet. There are a lot of videos. So what is Scrum framework, how it works, okay, and what are the keywords in it, as well as how you are currently fitting into Scrum framework right now. Okay, agile values. There are um, um, agile values and principles. So there are 4 agile values and 12 agile principles. So you need not to memorize that. You read it and understand. So core 4 core values. So individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Okay. So what exactly we are trying to say here? You need to understand. Don't just memorize it. Don't mug it. Yeah, as we used to do in the school. Don't do it, but understand the meaning about it. So this is the first thing you should start doing. Okay. Second thing you should do, start facilitating Scrum event. Even as a tester, try to participate into daily Scrum retrospective on regular basis. If you are already in the lead role, start getting. So how you can do it? You can go to your current Scrum master, say that I want to shadow you. Say that I want to learn from you. If there is no Scrum, try to see if there are any other group or anyone doing Scrum, how they are doing, how differently they are doing. Then practice servant leadership and active listening. So servant leadership, what do you mean by servant leadership? So there are different type of leaderships. Okay. So one of the leadership type style is dictator, like Hitler. It was dictator. He will dictate and people will do it. But servant leadership is like someone like a prime minister of our country. So I am giving a designation. I am not referring to an individual person. Designation. So who is our prime minister or even chief minister of any state? He is a servant leader. So he will go to people, he will listen, understand their problems, and he will try to solve those problems for the people. So as a Scrum Master, you will be a servant leader. So what do you mean by that? You will go, you will talk to your team, understand their problems, and then you will try to help them to solve the problem. So that's how it is. Then active listening. Active listening is one of the key skills that everyone has to develop going forward. So what do you mean by active listening? So currently, whenever someone is talking, we listen just to hear. Okay, so we just hear it, and then sometimes we keep in our mind, or sometimes we forget. But active listening is try to understand what the person is trying to say. That's the active listening. So listening to understand is a very key here. Is a key essential thing here. Next thing is like active listening. So there are videos. I'll share the videos also on active listening. There is one very nice video on active listening. start mentoring peers and guiding team collaboration. So let's say you are learning something on Scrum or Agile. You are right now around 10, 12 years experience, 13, 14 years experience. Try to mentor or this thing to your peer. Peer is maybe someone 3 years, 4 years, 5 years experience person. What will happen? You will enhance your learning. You will, because to be able to explain someone, you have to first understand it. Okay, so start doing that slowly in your team. Next is guiding team collaboration. So there are a lot of collaboration techniques, collaboration things that you can do. So for an example, you can start collaborating with BA, start collaborating with the dev, and see if there are any techniques. So yesterday, Seema, I told you about Three Amigos, right? So Three Amigos is one of the collaboration technique. Okay, so what is Three Amigos? We can share more details on that. So start doing Three Amigos. So such things you can start practicing as a tester to be able to move into that role. Okay, so for this, reading is very essential, guys. Okay, you have to start reading. Read it on internet, read it on chat GPT, read any books. Doesn't matter how and what you are going to read. Okay, it's up to you what exactly you are going to read. Okay, moving ahead is build familiarity with agile tools and team matrices. So like tools like Jira, ADO, Azure DevOps, and Trello, Confluence. These are some of the tools that you can start practicing. So right now what you guys are doing, maybe as a tester, you go through user story, you write the test cases and all that. But understand, so how I can link requirements to my user story, how can I link defect to my user story, how can I get my coverage, and apart from that, metrics. So like yesterday, I explained it to Seema that if you want to get the list of all P1 defect, how I can get it? So create that matrix, list of all P1 defects. As a tester, start creating these kind of matrices, small. Number of test cases written, executed, pass, fail, all these metrics start to get, but don't stick to only testing related matrices. Then move to little bit further ahead. What is burn down chart? Why it is required? Okay, how it is being visualized. So I always give simple tip to everyone. There is video available on the internet. At your home right now, go to Excel, enter that data into Excel, and you can create your own burn down chart at home on Excel. Tweak it. In some sprint, burn less story point. In some sprint, burn more user story point. You will realize how the graph flows and what it is shows. Okay, sometimes don't burn any story point. Apart from that, velocity report. What is velocity? Start as a tester, start getting interest in this and understand why it is required. Don't just see the numbers. You may not relate, but don't just see the numbers. Next is, so these are some of the things that you should start to doing. I've explained you 5 things to start doing. Now coming to a very crucial point, very essential point, that some of the common mistakes that tester makes in their CVs. Okay, then listing all technical testing skills only. I get lot of CVs, and those CV only show testing skills. That's it. Even their profile summary, even the project description, they only mention about testing activity. By doing this mistake, your CV is very low chances of getting shortlisted. It will not get shortlisted. So to be able to do that, you have to change the language to more agile language. Okay, so what changes you need to do, I'll tell you in some time. Okay, so then, like, start showing the agile experience more rather than testing experience. So that change you have to do. For that, you have to read, you have to understand, you have to relate your. So let's say I'll give one of the examples that as a test lead, you review the test cases. Okay. So instead of saying I'm reviewing test cases, so just say I do peer review. So don't mention that I exactly review the test cases. That means you are still doing testing work, not a lead role or not a Scrum agile activity, something like that. Okay. So start doing that. Avoid this mistake. Remove all technical testing like writing test cases. If you are moving to Scrum Master role, okay. So I've seen people. I write, I execute, I prepare test reports and all that. Yes, that is good, but that is good for testing role. If you are applying for a test lead, test manager role, not for Scrum Master role. Here you have to show your collaboration into your CVs, collaboration skills, leadership skills, all these things. Then another thing is people use generic Scrum buzzwords without context or examples. Just fancy words people use it. So, like collaboration, cross-functional team, and whatnot. But they don't know the understand. They don't have understanding of what exactly the meaning of that. So, for an example, recent trend is I work with my team. I implemented agile best practices, which helped reduce uh, bugs by 20%. Or I implemented best practices due to which velocity increased by 30%. So, what is best practices? So, don't fall for that trap. What exactly you need to what or you need to put into your CV. So, avoid buzzwords, because if you write any buzzwords, you will fall into trap during the interview. Okay. So, start understanding, and then only after understanding you need to put that thing into your CV. Otherwise, don't put anything such words into your CV. Next is highlight. Start highlighting. So people fail to highlight team impact and collaboration or individual contribution. So we just put individual contributions. I did this, I did that, I know this. Even during the interview, people only talk about I did this, I did that. Hmm. I only look into the testing world, something like that. Avoid that. Start putting into more. So I collaborate with my team. I understand. I do the requirement discussion with my entire team, developer, testers, BA. Uh, then I go through review process with entire team. So always involve all of them. So one example I'll give. I recently spoke to one person. It's maybe a month ago, and I asked him, what planning you do. So he started giving me examples of that. My manager comes with requirements, and he gave me number of test cases. We distribute the test cases among the testers in the planning meeting, and then we execute the test cases during the sprint. Is this way Scrum Master will talk? No. This is you are doing purely doing testing or test lead's role. Okay. Instead of what a Scrum Master will say, that I collaborate with product owner. We prioritize the requirement with the help of team. We had a discussion. We story pointed it. Then we add it into the sprint, and then my team worked, developed, test and release it to the testing environment or dev environment, whichever. Something like that. You have to change your way of explaining things. You cannot talk testing language in your Scrum Master interview. If you will do it, you will definitely fail. Okay. So avoid these kind of mistakes. Then moving ahead. So these are very common mistakes. I only listed few. And another next thing that you need to do, you need to start shifting your mindset. Okay, so one of the things that you need to do is unlearn. Okay, unlearn. So unlearn the testing world now. If you are moving to agile scrum master role, unlearn. So that is mandatory. If you keep that learning with you and you want to move to agile, you won't be able to move. So keep your testing work in past. Okay, and again, and this is very strong suggestion that I'm giving. If you are technically strong in testing world, stay in testing, don't move into agile roles. So if you're good at software testing, quality management, um, even Java, Selenium, automation testing, or any specifically of a non-functional testing experience like load testing, performance testing, I will strongly recommend stay in testing. Don't move to Scrum role, Agile role. But now you are at a level where there are a lot of challenges getting functional testing jobs in the market because of lack of experience or knowledge about automation testing, and you have planned or decided to move to agile roles, then you can think of taking this role. Otherwise, I will strongly recommend to stay in testing. But now you have to, if you are decided that I'm moving now into Scrum role, Scrum Master role, you have to unlearn a lot of things because you have to get new learnings into your role now. So forget about what you used to do in testing, how to write test cases, what are the, best practices in testing and all that. Slowly, sir. You need not to get rid of everything, but not so even you have to change your language when you talk. You have to talk more on agile language rather than testing language. Okay, so understand the difference. So this change you have to do. So for an example, as a tester, what is your primary job? Ideally, building quality. Okay, but some people relate it directly with finding bugs. So you write it in CV. I find bugs, I find defects, and all that. So instead of that, focus on team collaboration, or how my testing help this product become better product. Instead of saying that I write test cases, I execute, I find the bugs, I make sure the bugs are fixed, say that with the help of my testing skills, I help product to be a better product compared to previous version. See the difference. The language is being changed. Okay, you put it in a better English than what I said, but something which is the language has been changed totally. Okay, then moving ahead, instead of doing the work, start showing how you are improving the work or removing impediments or removing blockers or uh, like flow improvement, process improvement. You can start putting that into your CV as well. So these are some of the things, first few things that I wanted to discuss. Okay, then let me few things. So another thing is like you have to increase your soft skills, your communication, how you talk to people, and you have to get rid of your bias. So as a tester, you will normally feel uh, attached to us or attracted towards fellow testers in the team. No, everyone is same in the your Scrum team. So talk to everyone on similar measures. So that change you have to bring into your mindset. That change you have to do slowly. It will not happen overnight. Okay. So another few things that I wanted to share is, if you thinking that I will do certification, Scrum Master certification, and I'll become Scrum Master, it's not going to happen. You first of all need and learn to learn all the basics of Scrum Master. You have to gain some hands-on experience by shadowing your fellow Scrum Masters, start doing small scrum master activity into your current organization. So uh, those days are gone. It used to happen in 2010 to 14. Between that period, you do certification and you will become certified scrum, or you will become scrum master. No, it's not going to happen. Okay, so avoid that mistakes. And another thing, something which is yeah. So I already mentioned shadow your scrum master, agile metrics. I already told you, burn down velocity, servant leadership. We already discussed. Yes, these are all okay. So then you need to read a lot. What are the scrum values? What are the three pillars of scrum? You know, not just memorize it. Understand why. What is the rationale behind it? Why it is needed? So these are some of the tips I wanted to discuss with you all. You might have heard all of these before, but I personally feel all of you, if you want to grow in your career, you should know these tips. And these tips are coming from my own experience. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share. Now we can, if you have any questions, unmute yourself, ask the questions, and I will accept more questions on transition, not what problem you are facing previously. Yeah. So that kind of questions I'm open. So feel free to unmute and ask the questions.
Yeah. Okay, I will shoot the first question regarding the matrices basically.
Hmm.
So, what kind of reports Scrum Master has to generate or prepare for the team? As because we know as a tester, we know defect report, defect trials report, and
Hmm.
this kind of things.
So good question. So good to start. So as on only focus on burn down chart and velocity report as of now. Okay, what is burn down chart and what is velocity report? There is enough material available. You read it. Okay, so
Okay.
as of now, as a new scrum master, you only prepare for that. Thoroughly understand these two reports as of now. Okay, later on, once you got into more, if you got into scrum master role, then you can think of uh, something like prioritize bug report maybe, or even for cycle time, lead time, all these things in future it will come. Okay, but first of all, you these two reports, these two matrices, you must understand. Hmm?
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, next
Hello, sir.
question. Yeah, hello.
Yeah. So I would like to ask question regarding the projects like we are working on.
Hmm.
So not every time like we'll get some agile related projects. And so like as per my personal experience, so long time I am not getting any projects into agile
Hmm.
and nor even into waterfall model. So in that case, like if I want to get some hands on, then what approach I need to follow?
Good, great question. Okay, so here you first of all, uh, you need to read a lot about it. Okay, so let's say you are getting one waterfall kind of project right now. Just try to visualize or start practicing or start creating a roadmap how this will get executed in agile, what changes will happen. Okay, so start analyzing that first thing. That will help you to change your mind. So like for an example, what happens in traditional in waterfall, all the requirements come at once. Once requirement has been analyzed, then you do the design, then you do the development, then you do the testing. So testing on release at the end. Okay, so now what is shift left? You need to understand that. So if we do shift left, that means you are moving testing much earlier. So these kind of practices, how it will our project will change, you need to teach yourself. Okay, how these things are getting differently handled. So one thing is that. Second thing, stay connected with a lot of your friends and people, how things they are doing differently, how they are doing things differently. Go to community meetup, watch a lot of videos. There are a lot of videos available how things are doing. So these are some of the tips that will help you, and keep asking questions on time to time on all these things. Okay, so for an example, um, mm, in waterfall, I already gave example, like, in old days, like, team used to sit in silos. So how the face to face communication I can change that way, and how can I brought face to face communication, what are the techniques? Yeah. So such kind of questions, such kind of things you start doing, it will help you. Okay, and then uh, once you start relating your existing process to agile, you will be able to explain it in the interview as well, that okay, this is how it should happen. So these are some of the things you can start doing.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay, any further question? Amay, Gaurav?
So I have a question
Sure, Seema.
for regarding the resume building. Initially, is as you mentioned that whatever even though I have worked as a tester, I have to write my CV, keeping a role as a Scrum Master. So
Right,
that point of view, I have to modify it, right? Even
right,
though
right,
it's like this.
right.
So yeah. Though I
See,
don't have to write about my testing job activities and this.
right, right. So you can write it in very, very subtle, minimal way. Don't put, see, interviewer, recruiter should get clear understanding that you are applying for Scrum Master job. Okay, you are not applying, or even though you are tested previously, you are applying for a Scrum Master job. And always read the JD. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, if the JD is saying all agile related thing and you're sending testing CV, what are the chances? Very low.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So avoid that mistake. Modify your CV. Put all your learnings, skill into your CV, agile skills. Hmm?
Oh.
One more question, sir, I have.
Yes.
So, is it mandatory to always have a certification beforehand while applying for any Scrum Master role?
No, not mandatory. See, certification is, to be honest, I have, I have lot many certification, but I still don't recommend any certification as of now. Okay. If you have money, if you have time, you had go ahead and do the certification, but always think on return on investment. You are doing investment, but is it coming back? Are you becoming Scrum Master immediately? Okay, and to be honest, immediately after doing certification, no one, it's very highly unlikely you will become Scrum Master. It's very challenging. So certification is good to have, it's not mandatory. Okay, so I know one of my friend, he doesn't have CSM or something, but he's already working as a lead Scrum Master. He's a senior Scrum Master, so he doesn't have any certification. But if you are doing certification, do it, but see how can you implement that learnings from that certification into your work. So I'll go back to testing again. You do ISTQB. So how many of you have done ISTQB here? Huh?
I did.
Yeah, Gaurav, Pooja. Huh? So you have done. Even I
I
done
do.
ISTQB. Right. The point is, I have seen people, uh, they have ISTQB certified and they don't know test design technique. If I ask them in the interview, what test design technique do you use to write the test cases? So then what is the use of doing certification? Similarly, I am a certified Scrum Master and I don't know what are the agile, Scrum values, three pillars of Scrum. I don't know. So then what is the value? Just a piece of paper. Okay, so if you are doing certification, understand these minute details. Okay, so don't fall for that trap. So yes, I will say it's a good to have, it's not mandatory, but if you are doing it, I will not stop you. But after doing it, you need to learn these basics. If you are not learning these basics, your certification will go waste. Hmm. Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
yeah,
Uh,
Gaurav.
Hi Nagesh.
Hmm.
I joined little bit late.
No worries.
I have one question. Currently I am into the automation and manual testing role.
Hmm.
So after how many years of experience, this, I should be able to, or I should be able to handle the Scrum Master role, and how I should get into this role if I'm planning to do it.
Good question. Okay, so there is nothing like fix something like that, but what I will say, once you understand entire software development life cycle end to end, you know, how the requirements come, what designing team do, how the technical analysis or requirement analysis has been done, how developer and QA collaboration happens, after that how it goes to release and all that. Once you understand that, you are good to go for next level, be it product owner, be it scrum master. Okay, so normally, to be honest, I will say that if you are between 8 to 10 years experience in your current role, it's good to go, but you need to understand all these things. If you're only focusing, you know on your testing role, and you only know testing, and you only communicate with your current developers and BA, that will not suffice the, so you need to learn more. So get the bigger picture of your current project. Who is the customer, who is the stakeholder, who give us the requirements, you know if there are any changes in the requirements, who these changes, uh, what if product owner, if there are any dependencies on our product. Start understanding these things as a tester. once
Okay.
you once you start getting more and more information about this one, you are good to go ahead with the next role.
How to get into this means,
Yes, how to get, you want to understand how to get this information.
not this information, like
Hmm.
into this role. Let's say I don't have any idea. I'm at the -1 stage,
Hmm.
and I'm planning to make myself Scrum Master in next 2 years. So, as you already answered some questions, like no need to have an certification. There are lots of
Right.
material on YouTube, lot of
Hmm.
things.
Right.
So, like from scratch, how I should target these things and what to do means I'm
Good.
little
Okay,
bit
so
confused.
yeah, so start reading. So everyone, all of you, I will strongly recommend read the Scrum Guide. Okay, read the Scrum Guide. So I guess I have kept the link handy with me. Yeah, I have this. So in the chat box, I'm adding one link. Okay, this is the Scrum Guide. Download it, start reading it, but just don't read it to just read. Understand the meaning.
Mm.
So Gaurav, you start understanding it.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, so in this, it's not just about the Scrum basics of Scrum values, definition, all this, but what is the role of Scrum Master? What is the role of product owner? What is the role of development team? How they should work in one collaborative, cohesive environment. Everything is mentioned in this document. So from today, you start reading this Scrum guide, and once you start understanding this should be your first step. Okay, and once you understood these things, then you can slowly start moving towards Scrum Master role. But reading is very, very important here. Hmm.
Okay. And what are the challenges that you face till now in this role?
See, there
from
are
organization and from personal perspective.
okay. So there are a lot of challenges will come. Okay, because so thing is dealing with people. Okay, as a tester, you come, you go, you sit, you execute test cases, you go home. Okay,
Right.
but as a Scrum Master, you have to deal with lot of people. Lot of people means including your fellow developers, fellow testers, BA, product owner, maybe your manager, maybe sometimes customer, other
Mm.
teams.
Okay.
Okay, so here you have to improve your communication skills.
Mm.
Okay, then I already told you active listening is one of the soft skills that you have to develop. Understand the problems. Okay, then you need to know who can help me here. Okay, so sometimes you will face the problem, so challenges will happen. Okay, many times team will not listen to you. In that case, what you can do? So all these things, these type of challenges will come to you, but as you will gain experience, you will be able to handle it. Hmm. So for that, you need to connect with other Scrum Masters. So if you face one challenge, so even now today, if I face, let's say I'm doing some automation in Java, and if I stuck, what I do? I go to Google, I talk to my friend, I talk to my peers in office, and then I try to solve the problem.
Right.
I go to ChatGPT, I go to Stack Overflow somewhere. Same as a Scrum Master, if I face a challenge, huh, so I read about it. So let's say conflict. There are conflict between one developer and tester or BA and tester. Some conflict is there. Okay. So understand there are conflict management techniques. How you can handle this conflict. So by the experience you will learn these challenges will come. uh, so slowly you have to, and everything will not get solved in one day. All the problems will not come on one day, and all the problems will not come solved on one day. So every day there will be new challenge, new problems. So once you go into that role, so start thinking as a Scrum Master, start thinking as a leader yourself. you know So again, observe your project managers, observe your Scrum Master, how they are solving the problems, how differently they are putting across their points, and learn from them. That's how you should be able to solve the problems, whatever the challenges that you get.
So hi Nagesh.
Hi.
So there is a question from my side is like I'm working in one of the organization. Past 1.4 years have been with that organization in the QA manager role. So in our review meetings and appraisal meetings, I had insisted them that I am interested into moving into the agile
Mm,
world.
right.
So there was in-house training in our organization. I attended that. I'm also done with CSM, but as you said, only certification doesn't help. You need some
Mm,
experience. So
right.
I in touch with the agile team, the agile world, who is involved in consistently taking trainings and making people educate more about the agile world.
Mm,
So this is what I got from them is he said that even though you have done the training or the certification, you as you're saying this, you need to start working on the Scrum principles and take the ownership. If
right.
that is with you, they will monitor me for 2 months and then they will talk to my current manager of moving them into the
Mm,
agile area. But seeing all the situations and the current job trends that are,
mm,
I mean, people are now being asked to put down their papers. I find it difficult that this will happen in the current organization. So what steps I need to take if I have to switch my job and I have to directly move into any other company as a scrum master? But for that, experience is required. So I'm a little bit confused on how to do this transition.
good. So very nicely you explained the current situation, all that. Okay. So as you have already attended the trainings, you already done the certification. Okay. And in one sentence you said also your manager or whoever leadership, they explain you to start practicing it. That's the correct way, right?
Yeah.
So Similarly, as I said to even to Gaurav, start observing the things.
Okay.
Okay, start observing the things, how things are getting done differently in agile world. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
how that communication happens, how people talks and all that. One thing. Second thing, as I told you that if you are already working in agile environment, try to convert in your testing experience, like test lead experience, as a scrum master experience. So,
Okay.
like instead of saying that I review the test cases, or I cross check, or I so more bit, I worked in collaborative environment, something like that.
Okay.
So
To
slowly,
just
slowly,
sum it up.
yeah,
Yeah. Sorry. You
yeah,
continue.
yeah. So slowly, slowly, convert your test lead experience as a scrum master experience. So what agile practices you follow as a test lead, what scrum values you practice as a test lead. So one of the example I'll give you. So as a test lead, I make sure that there is enough transparency in my team. Okay,
Okay.
all the testers should have courage to speak.
Yes.
These kind of changes you can do into your communication as well as your CV.
Mm-hmm.
So you are started walking on the path of scrum master.
Correct.
Okay, and reading is very essential here, very, very essential.
Mm-hmm.
You have to spend at least an hour a day
Mm-hmm.
reading. Read about it, understand the meaning, you know
Mm-hmm.
so even if the scrum guide which I gave you, even if you read it today, even if you read it tomorrow or day after tomorrow, your understanding will change on same line. So you read, if you read line number 55 for an example today, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, on all 3 days your understanding will differ.
Mm-hmm.
You will get new meaning out of all the lines. So
Okay.
okay, and again I already I'm repeating, start unlearning few things from the past.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these are the things that you should start doing right now.
Okay. To just sum it up is although my designation is a QA manager, I am
Hmm.
a QA manager. I'm managing a team of 7 resources. Along with
Hmm.
that, I am an individual contributor too, and then I drive the Scrum. But we don't follow all the agile ceremonies. We just have a
That's
15-minute sprint and 2 to 3 weeks of release cycles, and then that's it. But we don't do this like sprint retro. So even though I am in the doing the practice, but I'm not completely being focused on moving from, as you said, unlearning the testing activities and directly moving into the Scrum Master role. So that is what something I have to look for
hmm.
if I need to change my job, because it seems here it won't happen
Right.
that
So the thing
easily.
is, uh, like you said, if some of the ceremonies are not happening into your organization, how it happens in other organizations?
Hmm.
What are the best practices? Try to get information from the internet. There are enough YouTube videos and available. Talk to your friends. What
Right.
exactly happens in retrospective. How people. So even like I'll give you another example. As a tester, you must have attended the retrospective meeting, right? At least.
Yes.
That's it. That's your experience.
Okay.
That's it. You know. So
Sure, we'll try.
what exactly happens in the retrospective meetings,
Hmm.
right? That's it. So
Sure.
here you have to just change the role as a person who is giving the points in the retrospective. Now you are collecting points from the retrospective team members. That's it.
Right. Right.
Okay, but
But you'll
for
have
that,
to do-
yeah, for
yeah.
that also you need to know the reason. So like inspect and adopt what we do in the retrospective. So if someone is saying that, okay, in this sprint I didn't receive the build on time, so you are inspecting. So you as a scrum master have to ask why the build has not been come on the time. What was the reason? What was the
Right.
bottleneck, and in the next sprint as a Scrum Master you need to make sure the similar mistake doesn't happen.
Right. So
That's
we
it.
have come up over the past release or past Scrum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good. Any other questions?
Sir, regarding the documentation part, so I am not pretty clear like how it gets maintained in Agile. Like I just heard like it's a minimal, like we need to do documentation, up to no documentation, only Kanban boards or Confluence is used for managing whatever test plans or anything like related to Agile. So that is getting maintained. So I just got experience of a 1 year to work into Agile, but there like not exact principles were applied, so that's why I'm not pretty clear about that. So if you can guide on that one.
Okay. So it's a myth that there is no documentation or minimal documentation into Agile. No, you have to maintain all the documentation. So all this what you mentioned, Kanban boards and Confluence pages, is type of documentation. Only thing is you need that documentation should be valuable. That documentation should derive some value. So I'll explain you what used to happen in old days. So in very old days, when they used to do coding or design and all that, high level design, low level design and all that, they used to document everything. And they used to submit that documentation as one stage completed. Okay, that was submitted as a one stage completed. Now tell me, if I gave you high level, low level design as a document, how valuable it will be for you? Very low. But instead of that, if I gave you working software where you can see something on the screen, you can log in, you can navigate, what will be more useful, that documentation or that navigation happening into the application? Obviously the working software. So what Agile says, the primary measurement of progress is working software. So yeah, but documentation is required. So you need to write down your requirements, you need to write down your acceptance criteria, your definition of done, your definition of ready. This is all documentation. If there are any so like retrospective, that is documentation. You note down all your retro points. So remove that myth key documentation is not required. Documentation is required, but it should be valuable. It should have enough information for a person to proceed. Okay. So keep in mind, even test cases are required. Then traceability matrix is required. Everything is required.
So is there any standard format for that?
No, nothing. Okay, there is nothing like that. You can be creative. So like I'll give you example. When I started my Agile journey, I used to put everything. I used to put everything in mind map. How many of you know mind map? No one know mind mapping? Note it down. Okay, everyone. And if you have small kids at your home, okay, especially school going kids, teach them mind mapping. Teach them, like it's a very good skills a kid can learn. Okay, so I'll give an example. So if a kid learn mind mapping, everything is visualized. So if I gave you 2 pages to read, after some time you will feel bored. But if I put everything in a mind map, which is pictures, colors, diagrams and all that, you will visualize it and you will remember it. So like Pooja, you asking, there is no fixed template prescribed by anyone, but Organization can have their own templates. If organization doesn't have own template, you can create your own templates, and it can be anything. You can put it in a mind map also.
Yeah, got it, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so almost 1 hour completed now. I'll take one last question and then we can wrap it up.
Okay, so last question. As we talking about mind map, when we have to create a mind map as a Scrum Master, right? So when we design the flow with the help of a product owner or PA, so we have to have all the requirement understanding before we proceed with the sprint grooming or sprint planning, right? Is that true?
Not all the requirement, something which is must have or required right now in the current sprint.
Oh,
Okay, and again, it it's not like that you have to like 100% you will understand everything 100%, then only you will start development. It's not true. Sometimes you have to uh, pick up the work, you have to do brainstorming, multiple collaborative sessions, then you may get new findings. Based on your understanding, you have to start developing testing. Okay, so again, if you are saying that I will take the requirement, I will understand it thoroughly, fully, then only I'll start developing, you are again going back into waterfall mode.
Right.
Okay, so instead of that, so there are techniques, so like uh, prioritization technique. Okay, so for an example, a requirement set of large set of requirements have been arrived. So you can break it down on what is must have here, what is should have here, what is could have here. Okay, then you can ask powerful questions: why we are doing it, who will use this, you know, where this will be used, when this scenario will come into the picture, how I'm going to develop, how I'm going to test, all these. So that will narrow down your requirements where you can uh, work. So try to break down the requirements. All these things will happen.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you all of you for joining today. I hope this was much helpful for all of you. If you enjoyed this discussion, I'm going to upload this video on YouTube. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, share with your friends, and offline you can share all the queries and questions with me. And if you want further such similar discussions, do let me know. We will conduct some similar discussions in future as well. And all the best for your journey. So don't just go with the limelight in your mind. Some people are already doing scrum master role and all that. Some people say that no, it's a easy job. No, it's not a easy. So also remove this thing in from your mind. I am bored of testing, so I will do scrum master. No, if you want to do the scrum master, do with a purpose. Okay, so there is no job easy job. Okay, there are challenges, there are enough learnings, there are a lot of things that you have to do as a tester to become a scrum master. Okay, so all the best all of you, and keep contributing to the community. Let's meet soon. Okay, thank you.
Thank